Well, this is certainly not the video I was planning on making tonight, but it's definitely not something I want to pass up because this is huge news, possibly. In the coming hours, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people saying, check out this leak. Well, it's not really a leak. From what it seems to be, it's actually a promotional poster from Japan, and that would be this one, which on the surface does look pretty awesome. I think we can agree on that. However, once we dig a little bit deeper, there is a fair bit of information here that we can get as to how Ultra Sun and Moon is going to differ from the regular Sun and Moon. First off, we've got some rather shadowy looking figures up at the top, but before we go there, let's start ourselves at the very bottom. Or to be more specific, the bottom left. In the background we can see Gladia making some sort of pose, but for some reason, he does seem to be missing a bit of hair on one side of his head. Or that could just be due to the shadowing of the picture. And yes, he's still looking as edgy as ever. In front of him, we have Cosmog, or Nebby, if you would like, as well as Lily. But the big thing here is that Lily is holding a Pokeball. And not only that, she's also in the gear that she was in at the end of the original Sun and Moon. I guess we can call it her adventurer gear. So does this mean that Lily is already back from Kanto and therefore will actually be a proper Pokemon trainer in Ultra Sun and Moon? So will you battle her at some point? And she still does seem to have Nebby, which is odd. So is this a retelling of Pokemon Sun and Moon? Meaning that Nebby never turned into Solgaleo or Lunala? But if that's also the case, then did she ever even go off to Kanto in this version? Another small little detail here is that there seems to be a bush or a bundle of flowers behind them. Not entirely sure what this means, but in another Japan exclusive promotional image, we have seen Nebby handing Necrozma a bundle of flowers. What importance this has, I'm not really too sure, but figured I would point it out regardless. Moving on from there, in the bottom middle of the poster, we have Incineroar looking rather menacing. And beside it, to the right, we have Hau yelling at the logo for Pokemon Ultra Moon for some odd reason. Joking aside though, I think he does look a bit more concerned than angry. Or at least that's my take anyway. Zooming out a bit, we have the main trainers in the center of the picture. Can't really see anything different with them, at least not what we've seen before already. As well, we have the other two starters above them, and the two new Necrozma forms on either side. Not entirely sure what it is, but there do seem to be a few things that are kind of obscured in the background. And for the life of me, I can't really make them out. Anyways, moving on from there, we go all the way up to the top with the shadowy figures once again. But thanks to Ultra Deezus over on Twitter, they are shadowy no more, as we can now make them out a whole lot better. So on the right, we seem to have an older male character standing by themselves, and then on the left, we have a older female character with what I assume to be two younger characters on either side of her. The one in the back almost looks like it's wearing a hazmat suit with a pipe going into their mouth. Or maybe I'm looking at that entirely wrong. There also does appear to be a fourth character, which again does seem to be a little bit younger as well, but they have their face completely covered. Or perhaps they're not younger and it's just the perspective. So I'm sure you're asking, who exactly are these characters? Well, we don't really know at this point. All we can do is speculate. And my thoughts on the matter would be that these people are possibly some sort of splintered off faction from the Aether Foundation. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Before we go into that, I do need to bring up this picture here. Now, it's something I have covered on the other videos I've done on this channel, but when I did that, I was specifically talking about the Kartana that you can see in the back of this walkway, which, as many have speculated, is possibly Ultra Space, just due to the fact that there is a Kartana waiting for you at the very end. The most important thing here, though, is there is a human standing within Ultra Space. Although, again, this isn't confirmed to be Ultra Space, it's just highly likely that it is Ultra Space. So why exactly are there humans in Ultra Space? Well, even with that, we don't really know either. But that does kind of open up the possibility that, going back to what I was saying before, this is a splintered off team from Team Aether, or it could very well be Team Aether themselves. But my thoughts are perhaps they were sort of an expedition team that got sucked into Ultra Space through some sort of Team Aether experiment, and they couldn't get them back because at the time they didn't have the technology, or they lost their position, or something of the sort. Years pass and nobody comes comes for them, so they have to learn how to survive in Ultra Space on their own. And perhaps they're sort of fighting on behalf of the Ultra Beast, sort of getting revenge on the main world, something like that, I don't know. Because we do see Necrozma taking over Solgaleo and Lunala, who are kind of the protectors of Alola, but I guess we have the Tapus for that as well. But maybe this team is in control of Necrozma, or on Necrozma's side somehow. Once more though, that is just wild speculation on my part, but hey, it's kind of fun to do that. So I'm curious what you guys think of this team. What exactly are they? Are they Team Aether? Are they a splintered off faction from Team Aether? Or are they Team Galactic, which I've heard a few people speculate on previously? Regardless of what or who they are though, this definitely is massive news for Ultra Sun and Moon. It means that there's going to be a rather large change up to the original story, which has me very excited. But anyways guys, that will do it for today. I of course have been the Awesome Soul, and if you have some time, perhaps check out some of the other videos I did on the channel. Anyways, I will see you next time. Take care.